Number 5. Megalobox. I'll admit that my least favorite genre of media is the sports genre. I usually find the stories and characters in them to be too cliched and predictable. It's just a genre that I can never get into. Megalobox is an anime that is a sort of futuristic retelling of the original Champion Joe series, and features the classic underdog story wherein every plot and character development I could see coming a mile away, and yet somehow, I really ended up loving this anime, and I think that's all because of how well written everything is. The plot, while again very predictable and cliched, is extremely interesting and intriguing. The world that the anime creates is brimming with so many little thought out features, and it really becomes alive because of it. And it really helps that the world is filled with realistic and believable characters. Again, these characters are cliched and have been done dozens of times before, but the way that they are written makes them very strong and feel like real people. Joe is the cliched underdog character, but his drive and motivations makes him very engaging. Yuri is the classic big brute rival to Joe, but his style, class, and respect makes him a rival that you really want Joe to fight. And this can all be said for the rest of the characters as well. Hell, even the little kid character is extremely well written and engaging. In anime, that's an impressive feat all on its own. Because of these interesting and believable characters, the cliched and predictable plot becomes interesting and engaging. But that doesn't mean that Megalobox doesn't add a few twists to these characters and plot points. I also really enjoyed the animation of Megalobox, using a style that, well, really isn't used in anime anymore. The rough sketches and classic feeling to it helps this world's atmosphere feel dirty and old and yet fresh and new. The anime also feels complete. Throughout its 13 episodes, every plot point and character arc gets a fitting conclusion, and none of them feel weak or out of place. Everything and everyone in this anime has a purpose. Because of all of these reasons and more, it's no surprise that Megalobox was one of the best anime of 2018. Number 4. Zombieland Saga. I was completely blown away by this anime. An idol show starring zombie girls, that can't be good, right? But somehow, it really works. These characters are extremely likable. I like how some of them are from different decades, and that sort of reflects in their personalities and mannerisms. For example, Yukiri is a courtesan from the Meijin Restoration era of the 19th century, and Saki is a stereotypical 80s punk biker, and I absolutely love the two of them. And the other characters in these different decades and their mannerisms range and have different and unique personalities. There's even a character where in the beginning I thought she was one-dimensional and boring. Later something is revealed about her that makes her complex and interesting and made me really love her. However, the standout character of the show is definitely Kotaro Takazumi, voiced by the amazing Mamoru Mayono. This guy is fucking insane. His movements, his speeches, the way he says certain things, and just basically everything about him is something you need to see to be believed. Mamoru is absolutely having a blast in this role, and you can really tell. Whenever Kotaro is on screen, I was dying from laughter every time. The comedy of the show is also helped by some great animation that doesn't hold back in the characters' movements and expressions. But Zombieland Saga is also really good at its drama as well. Every character has a tragic backstory in how they died, some over the top and some very sad. We care about these girls, and they really get fleshed out more and more as the series goes on. Now I do have two complaints about Zombieland Saga, and the first is that the only two characters we don't know the backstories of was Yukiri and Tai. All the other girls got backstories, so why not these two? Also, some of the idol dance scenes were presented in really bad CGI. At first I thought this was intentional, poking fun at CGI used in idol anime performances. In the emotional performances of episode 8 and 9, traditional animation was used, but then in the final episode the CGI was used again. And honestly, it's really distracting. But in the end, Zombieland Saga is an unexpectedly insane anime with extremely charming characters that brings us lots of laughs and lots of heart. Now give me a season 2, please! Number 3. My Hero Academia Season 3. Aww, yeah! My Hero Academia is back once again, and I'm still so glad that it did. The more and more that I watch this series, I grow to love it more and more. Everything that was great before about the anime is still great now. The animation is flowing and colorful, the fight scenes look spectacular, especially the All Might vs All for One fight in the first half, and the Deku vs Bakugo fight in the second half. Studio Bones proves again and again that they are the king of making exciting and exhilarating fight scenes. The characters are still enjoyable as hell, and the new characters that are introduced are a lot of fun as well. I love the team of the Wild Wild Pussycats, the students we meet at the hero licensing exam, and the new villains that join the League of Villains. As it's always said, a hero is only as good as their villain, and these villains are great adversaries. This season of My Hero Academia featured a few filler episodes in order to give the season an appropriate episode count for airtime, but still, these episodes were enjoyable as hell, because it allows our characters who don't get that much screen time to do cool and exciting things that they didn't get to do in the manga, expanding on the original source material in fun and engaging ways. I also love the deconstruction of the world filled with heroes that the anime provides for us in the second half, giving us some very good world building. If I did have any problems with the third season, it's that the second half just isn't as good as the first half. Not that the second half is bad or anything, the first half was just too damn good. The second half didn't have the severe consequences of the first, so it was hard to get engaged during certain parts. It was still fun and enjoyable, just to a lesser degree than the first. At the end of the day though, the third season of My Hero Academia was another excellent addition to the series. With the big three being introduced and new villains popping up from every corner, we are in for a tense and exciting fourth season. Go Beyond plus Ultra! Number 2. Revue Starlight. A combination of idol shows and Revolution Girl Utena, Revue Starlight became an immediate favorite of mine from the first episode. The guy who directed this anime worked on Revolution Girl Utena and worked closely with Kunihiko Ikuhara, one of my favorite directors in anime, and Revue Starlight is just full of Ikuhara's style, and it's a style that I love. Every shot in the anime being filled with so much detail and symbolism, being extremely stylized, always serving a purpose, and just looks so damn good. The animation is astounding, being the most impressive during the fight performances, using symbolism to express the characters' thoughts and desires through song and visual storytelling. Being an idol show, it helps that the songs that the characters perform in the anime are a delight to listen to. Thankfully though, Revue Starlight isn't just style or substance, because the substance here is enjoyable as well. I love and enjoy each and every one of these characters. Their character designs are great, their personalities are entertaining, and the chemistry that they share with each other has so much depth to it. Each one of the girls is paired up with another one as we see the relationship between the two evolve as each episode goes on. The episode that centers around each of them lets us know if the relationship leans more towards friendship or romantic. This makes the times when they have to fight each other in their auditions all the more complex and interesting. As someone who's always lived in the world of theater, I loved how each and every aspect of Revue Starlight was surrounded by theater stuff. From the rehearsals, to the backstage work, the story writing, and to the auditions themselves. Auditions are the toughest part of acting in my opinion, that it can actually make you feel like you are battling the other auditioners. The only thing that I wish the anime would have done was not play its style so safe. One thing I love about Ikuhara's anime is that he goes super over the top with stuff and has no restraints. Revue Starlight feels too safe in some places, but besides that one nitpick, Revue Starlight was an anime that took me by surprise and has instantly become one of my favorites. Number 1. Guys, I think I found it. I found my favorite straight up Yuri anime. Of course I love shit like Sweet Blue Flowers and Kasei-san, but there's just something about this series that makes it my favorite. Hell, there's lots of reasons why. For one, the animation is beyond amazing. While the character designs can be a bit basic, everything else about the animation elevates it beyond the manga's already beautiful art. The backgrounds and aesthetic have a certain melancholic feel to it, using a watercolor style at times. The direction is also excellent, giving lots of intimate scenes a lot of cinematic feel to it, making them feel more important than they already are. And this is helped by some pretty damn realistic and different characters. While at first the characters seem like they're just cliched Yuri anime characters, they all have a certain quirk that makes them real and believable, mostly because they go through troubling things that real girls their age would go through. Their backstories are also deep and complex, though I won't spoil them here. All these teenagers need help in figuring themselves out so that they can become better and healthy people. Thankfully, they have each other to get it through, while also having, at least for Sayaka, an older lesbian couple to help them show the way. Holy shit, a grown-up lesbian couple in a Yuri anime. Never thought I'd see it today. Riko and Mayako are my favorite characters and have the cutest interactions, and Mayako gives Sayaka advice with her gay teenage troubles. These two characters in the anime help teach, both the characters in the anime and the audience watching in real life, that relationships like this can work when they get older and that they are happy because of it. There are two characters that really help set this anime far above other Yuri anime. This also elevates the themes in the anime into very intriguing ones, with an interesting deconstruction of the Class S genre that was once popular in Japan. Bloom Into You also has some unique representation in that both main character Yu and supporting character Maki are both asexual, with Yu being homoromantic. It's representation that I never see in TV shows or movies, so it being here makes Bloom Into You even more unique. In the end, Bloom Into You is an anime that I absolutely fell in love with. With some colorful animation, realistic and believable characters, great representation, and unique things that set it apart from other Yuri anime, Bloom Into You is an anime that everyone should watch. It's quickly become one of my favorites.